Are you prepared for a roadside emergency? Whether you change the tire yourself or call roadside assistance, you need to have safety equipment with you to make sure you and your RV are safe. Although we have 2 roadside assistance memberships, FMCA and Progressive, I'm glad we can do it ourselves, because sometimes you're in places like the loneliest Highway 50 in Nevada and there's nobody close by to help. Last week I did a video about how we changed our tire on the side of I-75. This week I'm going to show all the tools and safety equipment I used in that video that I keep in this bin in the back of the truck. Yesterday when I had my little incident on the road with the flat tire, I'm glad I had, the important things with me to be able to change the tire myself. First of all, I have my triangles here, and these pop up real easy, and you just pop them up and flip them and put them out on the road to keep drivers from running you over. I have 3 of those. The nice thing about the triangle kit that I got is that they all fit nicely into this little case. So you basically put one like that, and the third one goes upside down in the middle, and then it's just snapped shut. So it's nice to keep those, because the first set I had that I kept around for about 4 years broke into pieces because I had them just thrown into my truck bin. If this had happened at night, I have the flashing type that actually magnet to, let's see if I got a part of the car here, that magnet to the side of the car, and they just flash them. It'd be good at night, maybe to put with those, but I didn't need those yesterday. This come in a little case. Now, as far as changing the tire, this truck did not come with the OEM jack and the little device to lower the tire. Shortly after I bought the truck from the dealer in Venice, I messaged them like, hey, I don't have a jack, and they never got back to me, never provided me a jack. So I keep 2 bottle jacks with me, and the reason I do the bottle jacks is because they're good for the truck and they're good for the RV. What I realized yesterday is I actually needed 2 bottle jacks, because one, I had to jack the frame up high enough to be able to get a bottle jack under the wheel so I could jack the wheel up. So I was glad I had 2 bottle jacks. These are 2 12-ton bottle jacks. And then, of course, make sure you have your little arm for jacking it up. Big one for me yesterday was to have my impact driver. This is just a 3/8. This isn't very strong, but it was plenty strong to take those nuts off and to put them back on. This is a 7/8 impact driver. I also have a 120 foot-pounds torque extension here, and that basically helps limit the amount of torque that you're delivering using an impact driver. This is the DCF 923, and this has been plenty powerful enough for me. It's just a 3/8. I have a 3/8 to 1/2-inch adapter because I used mostly a 1/2-inch extensions and sockets, and this thing really helped me out yesterday. It made it a lot faster and made it a lot easier on my body to loosen and then tighten the bolts. I was glad I had my compressor with me. This is my trusty compressor I use all the time for the RV and the truck, and I have my hoses and all that set up. I just connected it to the truck too, because of course the spare was not full of air. It only had like 30 psi of air in it, and I had to crank it up to 80, the normal front tire pressure, to get it going. The other thing, I have a set of impact sockets that stay with me at all times. I have a set of 1/2-inch regular sockets and a socket driver just in case. I also keep this repair kit with me, but basically what the repair kit does, it helps you clean out the hole with this little spike right here, and then it uses this inserter to insert one of the little ribbons right here that go in and block the hole. That might have worked yesterday, but I think it was better just to change the entire tire. But in a pinch, if the spare was messed up, this is probably what I would have done. Here, this is the B-tool kit here. Keep it in this little plastic thing that it came with. And so far, I have not used that, but it's good to have it with me. Something that I use with checking my tire pressures all the time is this digital tire pressure meter. And this thing is awesome. It's very accurate, gives you up to 0.2 PSI increments, and it is super duper accurate, and it works really fast. This thing is indispensable. I was able to, when I'm filling up that front tire again, I was able to check to make sure I was at the proper tire pressure. Of course, I was glad that I had my vest. I'm telling you, when I was running out between the truck and the road to get into the driver's side of the truck for supplies and things like that. Man, the vehicles were coming so close to me. I'm glad I had my little yellow vest on here. At least it would give them a little visual cue that, hey, I'm close to the roadway, so stay away from me. So I'm glad I had my vest. A lot of people may be like, hey, I don't need to keep a vest with me. I am so glad I had this on yesterday when I was running around the truck. The flat tire was on the driver's side. That would have put me really close to the roadway, and I can't imagine doing it without having one of these on. So definitely, if you don't have a vest, you don't keep a vest with you, get a nice bright yellow vest like this. Another thing I keep with me, which is really important with working with the tires, is I have a torque wrench that will work for, I think I do 130 foot-pounds of torque, so it's always good to torque them. I don't think I took the time to torque them because I knew I was getting off in a couple exits. The other thing I'm glad to keep with me is this long, this is probably a over 2 foot long breaker bar, and where this is necessary, if my impact driver wasn't strong enough to get that initial loosen, I could have just popped my 7/8 on here. This is nice and long, will give me lots of torque to be able to break those bolts loose. I keep a 2 and a 3 pound and a 4 pound dead blow hammer in the truck with me, and that helped me like nudge that tire on at the end. I also keep a regular steel 3 pound mallet because you never know when you're gonna have to hammer something really hard like I did on our frame in the past. This 3 pound dead blow hammer was strong enough to like nudge that tire on. I just didn't have physical strength that you need to like muscle the tire back onto the wheel hub. This is a 3 half-inch extensions. And the reason this is important is that the mechanism that lowers the spare tire that's under the back of the truck here originally comes with a factory, a little device that basically, it's an extension that grabs there. Mine doesn't have that because for whatever reason they didn't include it with my truck. But if you use a half-inch extension in reverse, the half-inch fits perfectly over that part that interfaces with the thing that spins it. I take a wrench right here. This is a 9/16 wrench. It fits perfectly over a half-inch extension. Then I just use that to spin it down to lower the tire. And then at the end, after I was ready to leave, I used it again to spin it up and bring the wire that holds the tire back up to the bottom of the truck. I had figured this out ahead of time, that this was long enough with 3 extensions and strong enough and the right size to be able to, you know, lower that spare tire. The other thing I keep in the back of the truck that was helpful was my set of wrenches. I used the 9/16 to spin the thing that got the tire from the back of the truck. The last thing I forgot to mention was my fix-a-flat. You can see from this, it's been bouncing around the back of my truck for 5 years. This is like an emergency kind of thing for a small leak, either for the RV or RV tire or for the truck tire. If it's a small leak that the fix-a-flat can fill it, it's worth a shot anyways, as an extra emergency solution. I could have either plugged it myself with my plug kit, replaced the tire, which I did, or use fix-a-flat. I fit all that stuff into a bin I keep right here at the back of the truck for easy access during emergencies, except for the air compressor. Okay, I keep the air compressor under the back seat. I'm strong enough to lift it. This is where I keep my air compressor, down here under the seat. Extra hoses, extra length of wire, a custom wire that I made, so be able to stretch all the way back to the back of the RV from either the truck or from my battery compartment. This I also keep handy because I check my tire pressures all the time. I keep right here. I keep that one, and then I keep this one here, and then I have these special tips, which I'll talk about someday, that help fill up dually tires, because the dually tires are really hard to get to. We learned a lot during our truck flat tire experience last week. We're prepared, but next time Alice is gonna have her own vest, and then we're gonna spread those triangles out way further behind us. Are you prepared? Do you have triangles, a vest, or flashers? Do you have the tools and the know-how to change a flat tire yourself on the side of the road? Have you used roadside assistance for the RV? Please share your experiences down in the comment section below. If you found this video helpful and don't want to miss the next episode, please consider subscribing by clicking the link down below and get notified. I will also leave a link right over here to our last video where we changed the flat tire on the side of the road. And remember, downsizing does make sense.